Well, this particular spot had the advantage of the beautiful pandan plantations it's about 1 kilometre going that way. It's close to the beach, it's close to restaurants, it's close to bars. It captures this beautiful breeze that comes down off the pandan. And when it rains, the pandan releases this beautiful aroma. So it's a lovely plant and it always stays green. Just started with, what we knew that we wanted, which was, a big entry with the front 2 bedrooms facing into the courtyard garden. And then the main living area would have front and back garden views. And we've done that with pivoting louver windows so that it can be opened right up in the mornings, in the rain. We can really bring nature into the house and then we can pivot them in the full heat of the day. It was designed for a family, and so it was important that everything was going to be enclosed so that, with small children, you could shut off the house, be protected from the pool, be protected from the elements. We wanted to be sustainable, but it's also really important to keep traditional techniques alive, and earth is one of the oldest building materials on the planet. It's incredibly sustainable because there's no carbon emissions in transportation. We're using the earth from right beneath the site. It's also incredibly practical because it's a breathing substance. So the walls breathe, they emit moisture, they emit humidity over time. And they're beautiful because you can really sculpt them to different shapes. So it creates a lot of scope with what you're creating. It's a slow process that, we can only incrementally go up maybe 30 centimetres every day. And so it takes a lot longer to build them. We finish the walls with a lime render, and that's a beautiful material as well because it creates soft organic feel, but it also is a natural material that regulates humidity in a room, has antibacterial, anti-mold properties, and then finished with a polished wax. And everything is hand done, so it's not just the walls, it's all the timber joinery. It's all ancient techniques that we've used mostly. These ironwood woolen pillars come from wharves in Kalimantan, so they're reclaimed from wharves. The teak comes from Java, and that's all beautiful and recycled and old. Some of the ulam we haven't done much to because you can tell had water and barnacles attached to it, and so it's got a story behind it. The high ceilings have a purpose for several reasons. We've got cross ventilation coming into this room. And so the hot air rises and escapes through the natural membrane. So it's very practical, but also practical in the sense in the rainy season, the steep pitch makes water flow run off and reduces the damage from water pooling. And also it creates this illusion of space and grandeur. And we've used alang-alang as the roof substance because it helps the house settle in to its natural environment. When you're designing in the tropics, you want to have the natural light at particular times of the day, generally the mornings. And then you also want to be able to cocoon away from that natural light when it's intense and when it's hot. And the pitch of the roof is so high because you want the natural light, but you don't want too much of it that it compromises the comfortability of the space. The main living area is my favourite. You've got the back view, you've got the front garden, and you can open it right up so the windows are designed to be pivoted. So you feel like the garden is part of the house, is incorporated into the house, but it also creates airflow. Even though we're in a tropical environment, this room is often quite cool and breezy and lovely, and that was the purpose of the design. For me, the kitchen, it's essential to get it right. It's the most important part of the house. Because it's a permanent fixture and it can't be changed like furniture, it's important that it's done well. It's a place where you congregate. If it's done beautifully, you want to cook, you want to entertain, it adds so much value to your life. For me, like the curves and the softness and the fact that it's almost, you can put art on the shelves, it becomes a beautiful artistic feature to the house. So the master bedroom is actually a whole wing, and it has a beautiful view. You walk from the master through to the study, into this amazing walk-in robe, and then into this beautiful ensuite. And so, yeah, it's a retreat. Bathrooms are important because they're a space where you just relax and luxuriate. The idea of having a copper bath with a view where it might be raining, I love the idea of that, and I love thought that people will enjoy that as well. And it's also a beautiful natural material. And so we want to keep it, everything as from the earth as possible. I wanted everything here to tell a story about the island archipelago that we live in. It's important for the design to make sense where it is. The stone, the wood, the earth, that's all local. Artists that we've discovered, modern artists, antique pieces, they're all from all over the islands and the archipelago. We've used a lot of natural textiles and ikat in the house, and they're all naturally dyed. And the beauty of that is when everything is from the earth, it all ties in together. And I think, all the natural materials just create this feeling of calm. So when you walk into these villas, your nervous system just drops. It's a house that has actually kept evolving since it was finished a year ago. Every time I walk into it, I come over to visit the owners. They've added something beautiful, like more to the garden. And so, it just keeps evolving and getting more beautiful over time. And especially as the garden grows, it really sinks into the landscape and the environment and starts to make more and more sense.